This is UFC heavyweight Frank Mir, and you're listening to Talking Brawls.
Delighted to welcome on to Talking Brawls MMA.com podcast Jonas Bilharinho from Team McGregor, who's been recently training with Jose Aldo. He's been his main sparring partner, one of them. He is the 135-pound jungle fight champion and the 145-pound jungle fight champion, and definitely a prospect for the UFC. He's 6-1. First of all, Jonas, how are you, my friend? Very good to have you on the show.
Hi there. How are you, folks?
We're all good. We're all good. Jonas, first of all, obviously you're a two-weight jungle fight champion. You've been down recently training, I believe, with Jose Aldo in preparation for his title fight. Well, it's up in the air at the moment, obviously, with Jose sustaining a rib injury. Can you just confirm to our listeners that it wasn't you that hurt Jose?
No, it wasn't I that hurt Jose. Was another teammate, but it was, how can I say, it wasn't intentional. It was an accident, but the strike caught Jose very, very well on the ribs, and he was feeling a lot of pain, and he was moved to the hospital. I wasn't there at the hospital with him, but I knew it was bad. He wanted so much this fight, man, and now we're going to put this away for a moment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lame.
So the fight is not happening at the moment. It's not going to happen on July 11th, as far as you're aware.
I don't know, man, but I know it was a bad injury. I don't know if he will be able to fight. And it's not an easy opponent, let's say that way. It's Conor fucking McGregor, you know? He's a beast. So you gotta be 100% to face this guy.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think, you're a guy, I watched a couple of your fights there on YouTube earlier on, and you're a guy, you're very similar to Conor McGregor, your style. That's obviously why Jose brought you into the camp. Do you think possibly Jose was a little bit too aggressive in the training?
Maybe. We need to be aggressive in the training because the fight is aggressive.
Yeah.
We Brazilians, we try to make the training as close as possible as the fight is. So sometimes we train without shin guards to emulate better the takedown escapes and everything like this. But it wasn't this that caused the injury in Jose Aldo. It was really an accident. We were going light. It was all soft, and all of a sudden a strike got him. His partner. His training partner that was training with him at the injury time, how do I say when you lost balance?
He slipped.
You slipped. He slipped in the floor, and the strike caught Jose in an angle it wasn't supposed to get.
Okay. So yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen. It was a freak accident. What exactly were you training with? You've a similar style. I know you're a guy who practices capoeira. You're in Muay Thai. You've karate, kickboxing. You've a whole repertoire of skills very similar to Conor McGregor. What was the exact process of the sparring?
I'm very similar to Conor McGregor in some ways, but not all of them. So I change a little bit here, change a little bit there, and bam, this is Conor McGregor for you, Jose. It's not that difficult to emulate him for me because his style is my style too many years.
Yeah.
People think, oh no, Conor McGregor style, that's so new. Okay, that's new for most of people, not for me. He don't use usual techniques. People don't know these techniques around here, but I know this for many years. I'm a karate guy. I'm used to all this shit he does.
Yeah. And you've been trash talking as well in preparation.
Of course.
And what was that like? Did it get to the point where it was, really, really serious and you were insulting Jose and he was taking it on board and he was taking offense to what you were saying to him?
Yeah, I insult Jose in many ways. I call him everything I can, everything I remember on the train. I call him. I'm trying to emulate McGregor the best I can. He's an awesome athlete, so we must do the best preparation we can. So we cannot leave anything behind.
Yeah. And
Jose must be in his best shape. It's sure going to be his most difficult fight. McGregor is the best athlete he will be facing.
and are you, how recently have you been training with Jose? Up
Yeah,
until the injury?
I don't know. I don't know. Our next train is tomorrow. I'll be calling the Dependerneras, which is Jose Aldo head coach.
Yeah.
I will be calling him tomorrow to know if Jose will keep training for the fight or if the fight is cancelled. For now, I don't know.
You don't know at all. Do you believe that the fight will happen on July 11th?
I don't know, man. I didn't hear it from the dad. I saw this in the media. I'm avoid calling them, so
Okay.
I don't disturb them at this moment.
Yeah. Okay.
And I saw in one of the hugest media sites here in Brazil that Jose has a fracture in the ribs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I
correct.
think it's very difficult for Jose to continue training to this fight with a fracture in the rib.
Yeah.
It's a very painful injury, and knowing you are fighting a Taekwondo guy like Conor, it's too dangerous to go to a fight with a fracture in the rib. Anytime Conor can put a strike on Jose ribs and break his bone even worse,
Yeah.
So I don't believe this fight will happen.
Have you spoken with Jose or Andre Pederneiras since the incident happened?
I just sent Jose a message, and I said him to get cold, to think well before taking any decision, to think how much he's gotta lose, and I don't know. He must know what's best for him. I cannot decide for him, but I just advised him to think the most he can.
And looking at this fight, how do you think this fight plays out, regardless if it happens on July 11th or maybe later in the year? How do you see this fight panning out?
Conor has too many ways to end the fight. So has Jose. So this is one of the most unpredictable fights I'm being a part. For example, Minotauro is going to fight Shogun Rua.
Yeah.
This fight don't have too many possibilities of how it's gonna end. But Jose and Conor, oh man, it's got too many possibilities. Both athletes are hard to knock out. Both athletes have endless cardio. Both athletes are so strong and powerful stand up. Both athletes can submit. I don't know, man. It's got too many possibilities. That's why we're doing the best camp ever for Jose, and I believe Conor is having his best preparation of always. I don't know, man.
Definitely. And
If I gotta put my money on something,
Yeah.
of course I'm rooting for Jose.
Yeah.
I believe on his victory. Of course, I gotta believe on his victory. I'm his training partner, and I believe on a knockout.
Definitely.
Maybe late third round.
Okay, that's your prediction. How did it come about that you came down? Because obviously you're a Team Nogueira guy. How did it come about that you came down to Andre Pederneiras in Nova União?
Yeah, my head coach is not from Tino Guerra, believe it or not.
Okay, sorry, I beg your pardon.
Alex Gazet is my coach. He was from Tino Guerra once, but he left Tino Guerra. But I'm still training with him. He was the one who believed me, who made me a professional athlete, who got me on the white belt and gave me the black belt,
Yeah.
on Muay Thai. And I won't ever stop training with this guy. I take all my decisions based on what he talks to me. It's like I am the body and he's the mind,
Yeah, of course.
And Tino Guerra allowed me to keep training with Alex Gazet because they know it's better for me. The Dependerneras, the Nova União head coach, he called Alex Gazet because they are friends, and he asked Alex Gazet to lend me, to borrow me,
Okay, yeah, because your style is similar to Conor McGregor.
Yeah, and I talked to Rodrigo Nogueira, Minotauro,
Yeah.
and he said, no, that's okay. You can go and train with Jose. It will be a good experience for you. You will help the guy a lot. Go there. If Rodrigo said no, I would said no too, because I'm a Tino Guerra guy and I must respect Tino Guerra leaders. But Rodrigo Nogueira is a very humble and very intelligent guy, so he saw no problem on that. And now I'm training in Nova União to help Jose Aldo. But after this fight passes, I'm going to be back at Tino Guerra.
Excellent. So one last question on the Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor situation before we move on to your career and just talk a little bit about what you're going to do next. So you're not sure this fight's going to go down, and is there anything you can give hope for the Irish fans that the fight might happen?
I don't know. I hope that the fight will happen. I don't know, man. Of course, it will happen. It will happen, but I don't know if it's going to be on July 11th.
Yeah, okay.
I really don't know. I really don't know. And I cannot lie for you guys, but my prediction is that this fight will be canceled for now. It's my prediction. I don't know. I didn't heard it from anyone, but I am an athlete. I already broke a rib. I know how painful that is, and we're not able to train with a broken rib.
Yeah,
I don't know if Jose is going to keep training.
Okay, yeah.
And we gotta respect Conor.
Yeah.
It's not anyone. It's Conor McGregor. I wouldn't fight Conor for broken rib. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know Jose, but I wouldn't.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I've broken a rib before. It's very painful. Do you think his rib was definitely broken?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a fracture. I don't know if it was 100% broken, but at least a fracture it got. I know.
At least a fracture. Okay, brilliant stuff. Okay, moving on to your career. What's next for you? You're a two division champion in jungle fights. You're the bantamweight champion. You're the featherweight champion there. You've sort of cleared out everyone in Brazil. You drew your first fight of your career, and then you won your next 6. So surely it's the big show. That's what you're aiming for, yes?
I'm aiming for UFC. The Bellator already called me, and I denied his offer.
Yeah.
All I want is the UFC. I don't think I got anything else to do here in Brazil except taking more belts, in other organizations. I don't want to keep defending my jungle fight belts, because if I do this, I will keep exactly where I am right now.
Yeah.
So I want to move forward and forward. So, or I will move to other organizations to get more belts, or UFC calls me. There's no other option.
Definitely. And talk about your style. I know you're kickboxing, Muay Thai. Your base, I think, is karate, and you've practiced capoeira as well. And you've been doing it since I think you were 3 years of age. You've been fighting. Talk to the guys that aren't familiar. What your style is like. It is actually quite similar to Conor McGregor in many aspects. But you're a guy who likes to study different fighters as well to broaden your repertoire of skills.
I like a lot to study guys. It improves my own game. I always studied Conor McGregor. I was planning to move to 145 when I was still a jungle fight 135 pounds champion. And I was studying every single top guy from UFC in 145 to know what to expect ahead, And while I'm studying guys, I see new things and I think, I can apply that to my game. I think studying MMA is 60% of the fight.
Yeah.
If you don't study fights, you can't be a champion.
Yeah, 100%. And, when you're looking on at those fighters, the 135, the 145 pound division, what division would you like to enter in the UFC? What division would you fight at in the UFC?
I felt more competitive at 145, stronger, faster. It's not about how am I feeling. It's not about feeling. It's about how competitive you are. And I think I'm more competitive in 145 than in 135. I got 5'11" inches tall, and I'm too tall to be at 135.
Would you cut too much weight as well down to 135?
Yeah, I wasn't recovering that well,
Of course.
I think I recover well fighting at 145. Many people ask me, Jonas, you're still too tall to 145. Why don't you move up to 155? I don't think I will be that competitive in 155. Of course, it will be more comfortable. I will definitely feel better at 155. But it's not how better you feel. It's about how competitive you are. And I think the most competitive weight class for me to be right now is featherweight.
Yeah. And, looking, you're in Jose Aldo's camp at the moment. Obviously, that gives you great motivation to want to be in the UFC. Has there been any contact or any inklings that the UFC are interested in your signature and signing you for a contract?
Yeah. We are now discussing the value of my purse.
Oh, brilliant.
And I guess soon I am going to have a date to debut in the UFC. I hope so.
Oh, brilliant. Congratulations. That's wonderful news. That's really good news.
Thank you.
When did you find out that news?
Yesterday.
Oh, excellent. Brilliant. Excellent stuff. That's really good. So you're going to go in at 145. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I have no contract signed for now, but we are already discussing when will it be.
And you said to me there as well, you admire watching different fighters. What fighters have you really admired in the featherweight division watching?
Oh, of course, I like Jose Aldo.
Of course.
Before I wasn't a professional athlete, I was already a fan of Jose. He's been a long time in the road, Conor McGregor, when he appeared, man, I studied this guy so hard. He's got a very nice style, and a lot of things that he does matches with I like to do. But I never seen anyone applying that in MMA.
Yeah.
So Conor McGregor gave me a chance to see what I like to do being applied by other guy. It was so important to me when Conor McGregor appeared. I studied him very, very hard for very, very long hours. And I like Patricio Pitbull. Do you know him?
Yeah, I
from
do.
Bellator?
Yeah. That was a great fight last week.
This guy is a beast.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to train with him too. And man, he will be trouble for Jose or for Conor. You know.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I would like to see them fighting.
Definitely, I'd love to see him in the UFC. That fight last weekend at Bellator was insane. Performance from Patricio Pitbull. The guy's an absolute beast. So what's your timeline now? When would you say that everything goes well with the contract, you get signed for the UFC? When are you ready to get in the octagon and fight?
Anytime. If UFC calls me next week, I'm going to be.
Oh, you're ready. You're ready to go, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Excellent.
Anytime. I'm always training. I don't get a schedule for now. I'm waiting for the first call, and after this, I'll get a schedule, so I'll know when I will be fighting. With a date months ago, I don't believe when the UFC calls me, I will have, maybe 9 weeks for training. I believe that when they call me for my first fight, for my debut, it will be something like, 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. So I must be prepared already.
Do you think there's any possibility if Jose doesn't make it that you might get the nod to fight Conor McGregor?
It would be amazing, but I don't think it's a possibility.
Yeah. Okay.
Too many top guys ahead of me to face McGregor. I believe that if this fight happens without Jose, who will be stepping on his place, I believe it's Frank Edgar.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe so.
You think that fight's going to happen?
I think that Conor McGregor will fucking destroy Frank Edgar.
You think so? Yes.
Yeah. Conor McGregor will not lose for Frank Edgar.
Do you think that's a little bit of a risk to, in case Conor would lose, it puts the massive fight that is Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor in jeopardy?
Oh, it's a tricky answer.
It is.
First of all, I really don't think McGregor will lose for Frank Edgar. But if he does, I must say that Frank Edgar, it's a much better fight for Aldo than McGregor. It's so less risky. Frank Edgar don't have that knockout power. Yeah. Frank Edgar, Conor McGregor calls Jose a decision machine. So if Jose is a decision machine, I don't even know what to call Frank Edgar.
and say you get your call to the UFC. Is there anyone you have your eye on? Anyone you'd like to fight in that featherweight division?
Man, anyone. I don't think I'm not that kind of guy that says, "Oh, I'm here to change the world. Yeah. I'm the number one. I just have to prove myself." No. Yeah. I'm not that kind of guy. Anyone they put to fight with me, doesn't matter if it's a top guy or a lame guy. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to conquer my place step by step. That's no problem with that.
Excellent stuff. And just one final one before we let you go, and we really do appreciate the time here. What's the reaction like being in Brazil and Rio de Janeiro to the news that it looks like Jose Aldo is going to have to pull out of this fight on July 11th. What's been the public reaction?
Oh, people will get mad here, man, because I don't know, Brazilians are not that grateful persons, you know. They forgot about their idols.
Yeah.
They prefer people from the outside. I don't like Brazilian crowd. I don't know, man. There's a lot of people who root for Conor here. So it will be a lot of discussion here in Brazil, man. Okay. People will get everything on fire here.
Brilliant stuff. And where can the guys find you on social networks?
I'm sorry, I lost you.
On Twitter. Where can the guys find you on Twitter if they want to hit up your Twitter account?
Oh, Jonas Speed. Every single media of me is Jonas Speed. On Instagram, Jonas Speed. Twitter, Jonas Speed. YouTube channel, Jonas Speed. And Facebook, Jonas Speed.
Jonas, it's been a real pleasure, and I really look forward to seeing your debut in the UFC. Hopefully you get that contract sorted out, and hopefully I'll see you in Las Vegas, maybe with Jose Aldo.
Oh, thank you, Niall. Thank you for everyone. Thank you, Thank you, Dublin. Thank you, Irish guys. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Really do appreciate the time, my friend.
I'm UFC heavyweight Steve Milicic, and you listen to Talking Brawls.